gosh. Oh.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
It was speechless.
Thanks for going home to get it.
She almost left it at home. A painting that sat quietly in her family for years, tied to a story so strange most people wouldn't believe it. Today, we're counting down 7 paintings that turned ordinary families into millionaires on Antiques Roadshow. Number 7, a wedding gift from the artist herself. This painting was handed over on a wedding day, straight from the artist to her own great-nephew.
My great aunt Lois gave this painting to my wife and I on the day of our wedding, and we've loved it ever since we had it. It's very evocative of Paris and the type of painting that Lois loved to do. She was full of color.
And so you are Lois Jones's, the artist's, great-nephew, is that right?
Great-nephew, correct.
Not bought, not inherited through some distant relative. Given in person as a gift meant to last a lifetime. The family never thought about what it might be worth. It hung on the wall for one reason only, because of who gave it and why.
So have you had this painting appraised? Do you have any sense of how much it's worth?
No, it was a gift. We're not gonna, sell it. This
Of course.
is insurable value mostly.
Oh, sure, of course. I would say this painting is probably worth around $25,000 retail. So I would insure it for that amount if I were you.
Good. Lois would be pleased.
Oh, excellent.
$25,000. The owner doesn't hesitate for a second. He says he'll never sell it. Some things matter more than the number. Number 6, hidden for 300 years. A family renovating their old Tudor home started peeling back layers of wallpaper above the fireplace.
If every picture tells a tale, please tell me.
Well, some years ago, my father and I, we were refurbishing a room in our Tudor house, and there was a Victorian fireplace which we took out, which revealed a Tudor fireplace, and above that was layers and layers of wallpaper. So we decided to start scraping it off.
Old houses hide things, usually nothing more than dust and forgotten newspaper. This time, they found a painting. Nobody knew it was there, not their parents, not their grandparents. However long it had been hidden, it was hidden on purpose.
And I think it's very interesting. I mean, I've never seen such a complete British painting of this period in a way. It's very difficult to price something like this, but I think at least 10 to 15,000. It's a wonderful object.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, speechless.
10 to 15,000 pounds. A painting that spent 3 centuries behind a wall, finally seeing daylight again. Have you ever inherited something your family never actually had appraised? Something just assumed to be ordinary? Tell us in the comments. I want to hear it. Number 5 has hung in the same bedroom since childhood, and the man who painted it was family. Number 5, painted by his own grandfather. This painting has hung above the same bed since the owner was a little boy. He grew up falling asleep underneath it, never once thinking of it as anything more than a piece of his childhood.
These lovely allegorical figures are terrific. You were telling me that you would wake up to this painting in your bedroom when you were 16 years old.
Yeah, he considered his murals much more important than his easel paintings like this, but I'm much more enamored by these paintings than the murals.
His grandfather painted it. What nobody in the family fully understood was who his grandfather actually painted for, and just how significant that work really was.
Even that, at auction, I would estimate it at between $50,000 and $75,000.
Wow. I could never sell it, unfortunately. It would stay in the family.
$50,000 to $75,000. The owner shakes his head. He already knows he's keeping it exactly where it's always been, above the bed, right where his grandfather's work belongs. Number 4 takes us all the way to Alaska, and a painting that shaped how an entire family sees the world. Number 4, the painting that started it all. Long ago, the owner's grandfather commissioned this painting while living in Alaska, not as an investment, just because the Northern Lights meant something to him that words couldn't quite explain.
What can you tell me about this wonderful rusty Heirloom?
Well, I know my grandfather got it commissioned back in 1964. They were living in Fairbanks, and they took the family on a drive down to Esther, where Rusty lived and worked. My dad was about 10 or 11 back then. He remembers faintly, but My grandfather went in a separate room with Rusty and discussed what kind of painting he wanted, and then they left, and about 3 months later, they had this nice painting delivered to their home.
Generations later, that same painting had become part of the family's identity. Trips planned around it, stories passed down beneath it. Nobody ever thought to ask what a personal family commission like this could actually be worth.
Do you have any idea what he paid for it?
I don't know. I don't have a dollar figure. I can't assume it was a cheap painting.
I would give it an auction estimate of between $40,000 and $60,000.
Wow, that's more than I thought.
And
$40,000 to $60,000. A childhood memory, quietly worth a fortune the whole time. Number 3 might be the most personal story on this entire list, because this time the painting is family. Number 3, a portrait of his own great-grandfather. This isn't a landscape or a stranger's face. It's a portrait of the owner's own great-grandfather, painted from life, decades and decades ago. Along with it, the family still has something even rarer, a handwritten letter written by the artist himself. Years ago, this same portrait was appraised at just $7,500.
Now, you had this appraised a while ago, correct?
I did.
And what was the value at that
It was
point?
in 1960s, and the value was $7,500.
That number sat in the family's memory for decades. Modest, unremarkable. Nothing that suggested what was actually hanging on their wall.
You would auction between $600,000
Oh my goodness.
and $800,000.
I was hoping I would be wildly exuberant. I am.
$800,000 to $1.2 million. The room falls silent. A portrait of someone's own great-grandfather, quietly worth more than most people's entire homes, sitting there the whole time. Which painting has surprised you the most so far? Drop your answer in the comments, because the final 2 stories are about to get even bigger. Number 2, the painting she nearly left at home. Before the show, the owner wasn't even sure this painting was worth bringing. It felt like just another old picture that had hung in the family for years, bought by her husband's great-grandfather back in 1935.
I was called over to your queue in Miscellaneous, and you showed me a photograph on your camera of this painting.
Yes.
And you wondered whether it was worth bringing it in, and you went home to get it, didn't
Yes.
you? It's made my day seeing it. It's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
She almost didn't pack it. The moment the experts saw a photo of it beforehand, everything changed.
I would expect this to make £40,000 to £60,000.
That's fantastic.
$40,000 to £60,000. She retrieves it from the car in stunned silence. Would you ever sell a family heirloom like this once you finally learned what it was really worth? And now, the story we opened with. Number 1, a gift to the woman who drove him. Decades ago, this painting was given to a woman who spent years as L.S. Lowry's personal chauffeur. Not sold to her, given quietly, along with an original sketch scratched onto the back of a cigarette packet and a story the family has repeated ever since.
I brought it in for a friend of mine, an elderly gentleman, about 79 years of age. They did belong to his wife, who's passed away. She used to chauffeur Lowry. This is how they came into his possession. When this lady was chauffeuring Lowry, he was sat in the car and he started to sketch this. And then when he finished, he was about to throw it through the window. And she said, "Don't do that." And he said, "Well, I'll sign it for you if you want it."
The room goes quiet. This is the moment.
What's it worth? Does your friend have any idea of what he thinks it's worth?
No, no.
I think it's probably worth £100,000.
Gosh. Oh.
Over £100,000. A painting given as a simple thank you decades ago to a woman who spent her days driving one of the most famous painters in the country. Nobody outside the family ever knew it existed. Nobody ever asked. So here's the real question for you. What's hanging on your wall right now that you've simply stopped noticing? Because if these 7 stories prove anything, it's this. Priceless treasures often spend decades hanging unnoticed on ordinary walls, and sometimes all it takes is almost not bringing it in at all.
Thanks for going home to get it.
It's all right. So my photography does do good in the end.